what's going on from that literacy realm. And what you will see is that there is a parallel path for how young children, as they are learning to talk, and then as they begin to build and understand, develop the foundation skills that are going to lead to later reading and writing, are also building and developing in those early years. So when young children are learning about the sounds and the language that they are loved in, and they put those sounds together into words, they're building a sense of what the becoming phonologically sensitive to the sound structure in our language. And they're learning to say words, and words that with sounds that match up to the structural form. When babies are little and toddlers are saying those words, they're not all complete. It's just a partial structure of what the adult form is. But as they learn more, they develop more speech sounds, they're growing in their vocabulary, they're able to say more and more words more clearly because they're developing more and more of the speech sounds of our language, all interconnected. And a word, a vocabulary word, has a meaning, but it also has a structure. And so you see in those preschool years, children tuning into what the sound structures are of words. Think about a little friend walking around a room saying, window, hindo, findo, bindo, mindo. What word are they keying into? The word window. And what are they doing with it? Playing with the structure of the word. They become, in essence, meta-phonological, intentionally thinking about the structures of how words work. And that is a very important aspect and key critical skill for learning how to read and write. Being able to tune into the sounds of words to then be able to map them as you want to read a word, and tuning into the sounds of words as you want to write them when you begin to spell a word. So certainly in that preschool time periods when we are playing with the syllables in words, what are the parts in kangaroo? Oh, parts are called syllables, and you can clap them, kangaroo, or you can tap them, kangaroo. And then as children are able to understand that structure, they have become metaphonologically aware, then we can help them tune into individual phonemes, become phonemically aware. And that is then going to help children move to that next level. During the preschool years, we're learning about these alphabet letters, these symbols that represent the speech sounds of our language. And they're building a sense of phonemic awareness of what those sounds are and the words that we are saying. And you take a letter like the letter B, 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 and it represents the speech sound B, B, B. And I can write the word bee, that bumblebee buzzing around. And that very important aspect of sound and symbol coming together is a very important aspect of what's going on in kindergarten, the kindergarten curriculum, learning those sound symbol connections so that you can look at a word, B-A-T, and you know that B represents B, and you've learned that A represents the A sound and T represents the T sound, and you can begin to decode, read those simple words. You can also hear, yeah, I want to write that word. What does bat start with? Ba, ba, ba. What's the letter that I need to write that down? And you see some of those very early writing attempts, invented spelling attempts that young children are learning to do. And so then as children are learning to decode words and to read them and encode words, to write them, their language is going to support their ability to then put those words into text, where they can read sentences, and they can read sentences that turn into paragraphs, and read stories that then become chapter books. And as their writing is growing, they can write about what they're thinking, what description might be, and their words turn into sentences and turn into essays and compositions.